going on, everyone? It's me, truck driver Sean. Alright, today we're coming at you with a fucking phenomenal pedal. I have played every iteration of this pedal that exists, that I know of. And this it really dwarfs everything else. It literally dwarfs everything else. And I'm not saying that because my friend built it. I'm not saying that because I do business with the man. I'm saying it because this is the Hesher V3. And it is stupid good. This essentially is a JCM 800 at what we all fell in love back in the day with the Marshall sound, but modernized a little bit. So what you got bass, middle, treble, you got your master volume, and you have your gain, and you have this sneaky little nipple right here. That is a presence knob, and it's got magic in it. So you don't want to hear me run my mouth, but I will tell you, it's $189, thisheavyearth.com. All right? I'll put a link down here somewhere, somehow. You know how I do. I wing this shit. Because I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm a fucking idiot. Alright. Let's go hook this up. And we'll turn some knobs and stuff. Yeah. Alright. To the Batman. Okay. So we are all hooked up. I have all controls at noontime. This, my signal chain, I'm using a Deviant Leviathan, and that is going into the TDS Effects segment overdrive, which is not engaged right now. That's going into the Hesher V3 by This Heavy Earth, the pedal we're actually demoing. That's going into the Redbeard Grendel. It's a 50 watt power amp, all tube. And that's going into my super duper awesome Arachnid cabinet. Alright, so here we go. Get a little taste of the clean signal from the Grendel, and then we'll see what this thing sounds like at noon. Alright, for it being everything at noontime, that already sounds really good. Now, just to show you, you can put this at noontime. I have an overdrive, which I already said the name of it, but I'm not demoing that. So if you caught it in the beginning, good for you. If you didn't, I'm not going to mention what it is again. I even have it laying down so you can't see it. But I'm going to turn it on with this thing at noontime just to show you how a simple two pedal with a power amp or a amp pedal can get you like right where you need to go. And yeah, it's pretty dope. Here we go. right, so right there, I mean, you're good to go. But let's turn some knobs. All right, so again, you have your typical things. You got your bass, your mids, and your treble. You have your level, or your master volume, I guess you could call it, and your gain. We're going to leave everything at noontime. We're just going to play around with lows just to see what they do. So unlike a lot of pedals that do what this pedal does, that bass, it enters itself, it gets that low end right in there, but it stays nice and tight. Tight. Unlike your mom's asshole. All right, let's do some mids. Again, mids do exactly what you want mids to do. They get MIDI. All right, time for the trebs. Now we have the presence control, which is a little tiny nipple in there. It's at 50% right now. Then we'll go down to 0, 25, 50, 75, 100. All right, here we go. All right, so the master volume is just going to make it louder. It doesn't really do much, but I'm going to show you real quick. So it's going to get probably a little not awesome sounding for a second, but I don't know, really. I haven't really messed with it, so now we will. To the master volume. This is a case where I think I know what I'm talking about, and we find out that boy is wrong. You can crank that volume on that, and it actually makes it a little more intense, adds a little more of that thing that marshals are actually missing, and that's that little hump over the top that you want to do, which basically if you want a marshal to do that, you literally have to dime it out. That's really awesome. All right, let's mess with the gain. That's really good, by the way. I like that. You can crank the gain on this up to about 90%, and other than a tiny bit of hiss, you don't get no feedback. There's absolutely no noise gate in this. It's just, that's impressive. Alright, now for our favorite part. I'm just gonna try dialing this thing in, and then we'll have a little chit chat. Here we go. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I'd like it just to push a little bit more. So I'm going to cut that gain a little bit, then we're going to hit it with an overdrive and see what happens. So what do I think about it? Honestly, I fucking love that. So the next trip I make out, not this one, I'm just going for a couple days and coming back home, but the next like trip I do out, I'm going to take this on the road with me along with my Higher Power, which is another pedal by This Heavy Earth, and the Hesher V3. Yes, I'll be taking a little break from the segment Overdrive. Everybody's been getting bludgeoned to death with it. But I'm going to take a whole This Heavy Earth rig out. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to get out in parking lots. We're going to jam that thing. We're going to jam out with our clam out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah! Just like your mom. Alright. Very cool. $189. ThisHeavyEarth.com. I will put an exact link to this product somewhere in the fuckery below. Alright? Very cool. Huge thanks to Shay for everything that he does for the small YouTube channels and the community itself. And as a businessman now with a pedal of my own, and he is integrated into what I'm doing on a nuclear level. Huge thanks personally, just from me, and I know from Park as well. He's not here to speak for himself. But thank you so much for, man, putting up some crazy shit from us. Oh my God. He really is a smart guy. He has a lot of builds. All of them have a little something. Read them. I've demoed a crap ton of his stuff. I have probably more of his stuff than anybody else's on my wall. And this pedal right here, I know he doesn't want to hear this, but as far as like his amp in a box situations, this is without question my fucking favorite. This is good. It's dumb good. Anyhow, we will catch you in the next video if you're still hanging around here to hear me say that. So hey, subscribe to my bullshit. That would be awesome. Later, man.